Hello, guys. Wait, so Morrison just stopped? Like completely stopped with the cryptic post. Yeah. No more mysterious captions. No more breadcrumbs. Just silence. That's actually wild. He was feeding us for months. I know, right? Every single post had us running to the comments trying to decode what he meant. And now, nothing. Radio silence. It's like he just decided one day to stop playing the game. Honestly, it's kind of refreshing though. All that speculation was getting exhausting. But it was also entertaining. We lived for those moments. True, but think about it. Maybe he realized it was getting out of hand. Or maybe someone told him to chill out with all the hints and clues. Either way, the shift is noticeable. Like very noticeable. Do you think he regrets feeding into it for so long? Probably not regret, but maybe he just grew up a little. Realize some things are better kept private. That's fair. Not everything needs to be a public spectacle. Exactly. And honestly, the people who were really paying attention saw the change coming. How so? The posts started getting less frequent, less suggestive. It was gradual. I didn't even notice that part. Most people didn't. They were too busy creating theories. Well, now we're all just sitting here wondering what's really going on. And maybe that's exactly what he wants. Privacy without the performance. I'm still holding on to my theory though. Girl, let it go. He's moved on from the speculation game. But what if Hasta? No more what ifs. Come on. You can't tell me you're not even a little curious. Curious. Sure. Delusional. No, it's not delusion if there's actual evidence. Evidence from 6 months ago doesn't count anymore. Things change. But patterns don't lie. And the pattern was clear. Was clear. Past tense. Now there's a new pattern. And it's called moving on. You're so dramatic. Says the person still analyzing posts from last spring. Those posts meant something. You can't just erase that. Nobody's erasing anything. We're just acknowledging that people evolve. Fine, but my fantasy isn't hurting anyone. As long as you... Yeah, obviously. Does it feel obvious though? Okay, maybe I'm a little too invested. A little. Fine. A lot. But can you blame me? It was such a good story. It was. But real life isn't a story we get to write. I know. Doesn't mean I have to like it. You don't. But you do have to accept it eventually. Eventually. Not today though. Baby steps, I guess. Hanley. And he's protecting people now. By staying quiet. Entertainment shouldn't come at the cost of someone's mental health or privacy. Facts. We got so used to having access to everything. And maybe that was the problem. Not everything is meant to be shared. It's weird though, adjusting to this new version of him. Weird, but necessary. People grow, priorities shift. Yeah. And if pulling back from online drama is part of that growth, then good for him. Good for everyone involved, really. Can we talk about how Sonia just fits, right? Zero drama, zero mess. She's like the calm in the middle of chaos. That's rare in this whole situation. So rare. Everyone else who came around brought some kind of energy with them. And not always good energy either. There was always something. But with her, nothing. Just peace and good vibes. It's almost suspicious how drama-free she is. Not everyone comes with chaos attached. I know. I'm just saying it's refreshing. More than refreshing. It's exactly what was needed. Do you think that's why things seem more serious this time? Definitely. When someone brings calm instead of chaos, you hold on to that. And it's not just him who seems calmer. Everyone around them seems more settled. That's the Sonia effect. She just has this naturally peaceful presence. I've noticed that too. Even in pictures, the energy feels different. No forced smiles, no awkward body language, just genuine comfort. That's what makes people believe this is real. Because it feels real. And when something feels this natural, it's hard to doubt it. Exactly. There's no performance, no trying too hard. Just two people existing comfortably together. That's the dream. Honestly, it really is. And it seems like they found it. Some of us accepted it and moved on quietly. And some of us are still writing fan fiction in the comments. Hey, let people hope. There's hope. And then there's delusion. That's harsh. People are just invested in what they saw. Invested is one thing. Creating entire alternate realities is another. But isn't that what being a fan is about? Imagining possibilities. To a point, yeah. But some people have completely lost the plot. I've seen some wild theories out there. I'll admit. Wild, that's putting it lightly. Some of them are full-blown novels. Okay, but as long as they're keeping it in the comments and not harassing anyone, that's fair. The problem is when fantasy starts bleeding into reality, when people start acting on these theories, that's when it gets messy. Exactly. Believing something privately is different from demanding it publicly. Right, your fantasy shouldn't become someone else's burden. But I get why people hold on. Letting go of something you believed in is hard. It is. Especially when you felt like you had evidence supporting it. The mind can make connections where there aren't any. Conversation bias is real. We see what we want to see. So what's the solution? How do people move on? Honestly, time, and maybe accepting that some stories don't end the way we hoped. That's sad, but true. It's life. Not everything is meant for us to understand or control. The fact that families are involved now, though, that's what made me believe it's real. You don't bring someone around family if it's casual, exactly. That's a whole different level. Family introductions mean something. They always have. They always have. It's like the ultimate seal of approval. You know, right? You don't waste your family's time with someone who's temporary. And you definitely don't bring someone around if you're not sure about them. So the fact that both families are involved says everything. Everything. That's not a casual thing. That's intentional. I remember when the first family photo surfaced. The comments went crazy. Because people knew what it meant. This wasn't just dating anymore. It was commitment. It was choosing to merge lives, not just spend time together. And you could see the pictures too. Everyone looked comfortable. No awkward positioning, no forced interactions. Just natural family vibes. That's what you can't fake. Genuine comfort takes time to build. Exactly. And clearly, enough time has passed for that comfort to exist. Do you think the families pushed for more privacy too? Probably. Once families get involved, the stakes are higher. It's not just about two people anymore. It's about protecting everyone. And that's when you really see someone's character. How they handle that responsibility. From what we can see, it's being handled with care, which is all anyone can really ask for. Remember when every post was analyzed for clues? The detective work was insane, and now, nothing. Just normal life. Maybe that's the biggest clue of all. What do you mean? Think about it. When things are real, you don't need to drop hints. Oh, wow. That's actually a really good point. All that cryptic posting was part of the performance. And now that there's nothing to perform, there's nothing to decode. We really went crazy with those analyses though. Every emoji, every caption, every location tag, every timestamp. People were doing full investigations. I saw someone break down the reflection in a window once to figure out who was taking the picture. That's dedication. Obsessive, but dedicated. It was like a full-time job for some people. And honestly, it was entertaining while it lasted. It really was. The theories, the debates, the evidence compilation. People were creating PowerPoint presentations to prove their points. Those were wild times, but also kind of exhausting. Agreed. There's something peaceful about this new normal. No games, no puzzles, just life happening without an audience. That's probably healthier for everyone involved. Definitely. Not everything needs to be a mystery for people to solve. And maybe that's what growing up looks like. choosing privacy over performance. If that's the case, then good for him. Sonia's reputation is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. What do you mean? She's so drama-free that people just trust it. Fair point. No red flags, no mess. Exactly. Her track record speaks for itself. She's never been caught up in any scandals or messy situations, and in this world, that's practically impossible unless you're genuinely careful or genuinely good. Maybe she's just actually a good person. That's what I think. You can't fake being drama-free for this long. Eventually, something will slip. Some mess would surface. But with her, nothing. Ever. Just consistent peace. That builds trust. People look at her and feel like things are stable. And stability is what was missing before. There was always some chaos. Always. Some rumor, some issue, some complication. But she came in and everything just settled. Like adding the missing piece to a puzzle. Perfect way to describe it. Everything just clicked into place. Do you think that's why families accepted her so quickly? Absolute brings that kind of energy. You notice and you appreciate it. Drama gets exhausting for everyone. So when someone shows up without any, it's like a breath of fresh air. Her reputation definitely preceded her in the best way. And now she's living up to it. No mess, no stress. Just good vibes and peaceful living. That's the kind of energy everyone should aspire to bring. I miss the chaos a little bit though. The speculation was entertaining, but at what cost? People's actual lives. Okay, yeah, you're right. I get it. It was fun to have something to follow and discuss. Every new post was an event. People would gather in the comments like it was a town hall. The group chats would go crazy. Everyone sharing their theories. It was like being part of a collective investigation. But when you really think about it, we're investigating real people's private lives. That's the part that feels weird now, looking back. Yeah, we got so caught up in entertainment that we forgot these are actual humans. With feelings, with privacy, with lives that don't exist for our amusement. It's a strange thing, social media. It makes everything feel like content. And we start treating people like characters instead of real individuals. So maybe the chaos ending is actually a good thing. For them, definitely. For us, we just need to find other entertainment. There's plenty of content out there that doesn't involve invading privacy. True, we don't need to know everything about everyone. And honestly, some mystery is good. Keeps things special. I never thought about it that way. When everything is shared, nothing feels sacred anymore. So maybe them pulling back is protecting something sacred. I really like that perspective. Makes the silence feel intentional and meaningful. If it wasn't serious, we wouldn't be at family dinners. That's the line everyone keeps coming back to. Because it's families don't play. And clearly they're all in now. You can fake a lot of things, but you can't fake family acceptance. Exactly. Families see through nonsense immediately. They're protective, they ask questions, they observe everything. So if someone makes it through that filter, they're legitimate. And from what we've seen, she's not just made it through, she's thriving. The photos show her laughing with his family, comfortable in their space. The photos show her laughing with his family, comfortable in their space. That doesn't happen overnight. That takes time and genuine connection. Right. You can't force that kind of comfort. And his family wouldn't force it either. They'd keep their distance if something felt up. So the fact that they're all together regularly says everything we need to know. It's the ultimate confirmation without any words being said. Actions over words always. And these actions are speaking volumes. Do you think people will finally accept it now? Some will. Others will hold on to their theories forever. That's their choice, I guess. But the evidence is pretty clear. Crystal clear. Family involvement is the final level. And they've reached it. Together. That's what matters. Everything else is just noise at this point. The story is already written in those family moments. So what changed? Why did Morrison stop feeding the rumors? Maybe he realized people deserved peace. Or maybe things got real enough that games didn't matter anymore. Either way, respect. It takes maturity to step back from something that was getting you attention, right? The attention was constant. He could have kept riding that wave, but he chose differently. He chose privacy and protection instead. That's growth. Real visible growth. I wonder if it was a conscious decision or if it just happened naturally. Probably a bit of both. Sometimes you don't realize you've changed until you look back. And when you're in something real, the need for external validation fades. That's deep but true. When you're secure, you don't need everyone else to validate it. That's deep but true. When you're secure, you don't need everyone else to validate it. Exactly. The people who matter already know what's happening. Everyone else is just watching from the outside, and that's okay. It's more than okay. It's healthy. Boundaries are important, especially in a world where everyone feels entitled to know everything. We really did get used to unlimited access to people's lives. And maybe that was never sustainable or fair to begin with. So him pulling back is actually setting a good example. Yeah, showing that you can exist online without exposing everything. That you can share some things and keep others sacred. It's a balance. And it seems like he's finally found it. Good for him. Genuinely good for him. And good for everyone who gets to benefit from that peace. So guys, thanks for your audience and have a lovely day.